Hello all, very good afternoon, very good evening, very good evening one and all. Thanks for joining here. The session will begin at 5:05. The session will begin at 5:05. Very good evening, gentlemen. Thanks for joining with us. The session will begin at 5:05. Please be on the line. I request you to please switch off your videos. I request you to please switch off your videos. I request you all, please switch off your videos. That will be disturbing to others. Please switch off your videos. I request. The session will begin at 5:05. Please stay tuned. Thanks for joining. I request you to please switch off your videos. The session will begin at 5:05. Thanks for joining. Very good evening. Hi everyone. Very good evening. Hi everyone. Very good evening. Let us introduce about this event, and let's move on to the topics. Before that, let me explain you who we people are and from where we are organizing all these things. Let me tell you. So, very good evening. Good evening, gentlemen and ladies. Thanks for joining this evening with us. This event is hosted jointly and in association with Malareddy Engineering College in Autonomous One from Hyderabad, Malareddy Engineering College, Autonomous, uh, in association with Skill to Hire, a e-learning platform. We have been hosting this event. So jointly organized by Skill to Hire and as well Malareddy Engineering College, Autonomous, Hyderabad. So for all the organizers, we thank all the organizers for great work, and we are from Skill to Hire, and in association with Malareddy Engineering College, we have been hosting this event. We thank Malareddy Engineering College and the staff who have helped us, and all the people behind this event. We thank all. So let us begin our event. Let us start our program with the basic introduction of this machine learning and all. Before that, let me explain you who we people are and what are the topics you are going to cover for the next coming this day and tomorrow. Let me explain you in briefly. So very good evening. People are still joining. Thanks for joining with us this evening. And again, I'm telling you, this event is co-hosted and in association with Malareddy Engineering College. We people are from Skill to Hire. It is a web portal for e-learning. You can find many free courses, online courses. So there you can check with skill2hire.com. This program is organized in association with Malareddy Engineering College at Autonomous, Hyderabad. So myself, Sati Kumar, I represent Skill to Hire. I'm a software engineer. I've been working with computer vision and machine learning and deep learning, and as well my programming skills are Python and C, C++, Java. I've been working for different MNCs for the past 8 years. So I would like to take class. I would like to give you some glance on what machine learning is and how we can do machine learning with MATLAB software, which is mostly used in colleges and the campuses. So let me give you some brief on this. So for the coming for this day and tomorrow, I would like to give you some brief on machine learning and as well the machine learning with MATLAB and what MATLAB provides us to, what kind of tools MATLAB provides us for easy to make ease of machine learning and how to build a model and the entire flow from the taking the data set to evaluating a model and getting the accuracy kind of things would like to discuss with you for these 2 days. So again, telling you, thanks for joining. Let us quickly move on to machine learning. What machine learning is and why we need to learn machine learning and why this machine learning came into limelight and these days, why it is ruling the industry. These kind of things, some basic insights we'll get to know and then simply we'll move on to the concepts. So I would like to give you conceptual learning and I would like to show you a simple model, how to build and how to evaluate your model and how to take some data set pre-processing and training and testing and evaluating these kind of things. I would like to give you a glance on that. So let us quickly move on to our topic. So the agenda for today is what machine learning is and what is conceptual understanding of machine learning I would like to give you today. In today's session, I would like to give you a brief on what machine learning and how we can think like a machine and how we can understand the concepts of a machine learning. And then simply, I would like to explain you some basics of MATLAB tool, and then I would like to give you some toolbox introduction of MATLAB machine learning toolbox. And then I would like to give you a overview on classification from end to end, from starting taking the data sets to evaluating model. I would like to give you a glance on that. So try to cooperate with me. You can ask me questions after the session. So we'll have a QA session. So no worries, you can ask me once I'm done with the teaching. So I request you to please keep your questions with you, and at the end you can ask me in chat box. So hope my video is clear and my audio is clear. So if you people face any problems, you can check with your audios. You have been using a good ones, no issues from our side. So let me check with you. Yes. Thank you. Thanks for joining. Let us begin our session. And once I repeat, this event and this webinar is organized by Skill to Hire and Malareddy Engineering College Autonomous, Hyderabad. So myself, Satya Kumar, I would like to give you some glance on machine learning with MATLAB for the 2 days. So let me start and let me share my screen and let me give you some glance on what machine learning is and why we need to learn machine learning and why machine learning getting more focus and why it is gaining more importance these days and what basically it is. Let us understand together and let us simply conceptually let us understand the concepts of machine learning. So let me start the things with the basics of machine learning so that I can start off. So let me share my screen. Let me share my screen so that I can. So for this session, I would like to give you a brief on machine learning and as well. So hope my screen is visible. My team, can you please check? Please check and give me a message in chat box. Yes, Mr. Reddy, can you please check with me? Can you please check with is my screen is visible? Now please check. Can anyone please in the team, in the group or anyone please check? Is my machine learning screen, PPT screen is visible? Yes. Yes, thank you. Thanks for your checking with me. Yes. Yeah. Thanks for checking with me. Yes. Let us begin our session. So I would like to talk about the machine learning, the basic things, and then let us move on to MATLAB and how we can evaluate a model and how you can build a model with machine learning. Let us discuss. So let me explain you basic things, what machine learning is in overview we are going to discuss in this session. I would like to give you insights of machine learning and the basic things of machine learning. So what machine learning is basically. So letting our machines learn from the data is what machine learning is basically. Machine learning. The machine already we know, the learning concept we also know. So by seeing this, I can say this is a pen. By seeing this, I can say this is a pen. And by seeing this, I can say this is a mobile. That comes based on the learning. From my childhood, I have been learning that this is a pen and different kinds of pens. This is a laptop, this is a mobile, such kind of things. My brain have been trained with different items. So that is what natural intelligence is. By recognizing objects, for suppose if I show something, so my brain system, my intelligence system automatically recognizes that this is a mobile. In such a way, so my brain is trained and information is stored in my deep down into the neurons of my brain. Right, that is the base of mm, that is the base of natural intelligence. When comes to the picture of artificial intelligence, there comes the topic of machine learning. What machine learning is, letting our machines learn from the data. If a machine thinks like a human, that is simply, if machine thinks like a human, that is what artificial intelligence is. To make machine think like a human, we need to train a mission. We need to train a mission. So for training, we need to go for machine learning. Machine learning is the concept of letting our machines learn from the past experiences to predict something, to predict a future. That is what machine learning is. Machine learning is all about incoming data and predicting some results. Incoming data predicting some results. Machine learning is not AI. Machine learning is not deep learning. Machine learning is not neural nets. Machine learning is not something. Machine learning is all about incoming data and predicting some results. Any machine learning problem, mostly any machine learning problem can be described in such a way, incoming data and then predicting something. If it is not in such a way, then that is not a machine learning, I say. Based on my experience, I would like to give you some basic insights of machine learning before getting into the topics. So for artificial intelligence, machine learning is very important. For natural intelligence, our learning, natural learning that this is a pen, this is a mobile, this is a laptop, such kind of things we have been learning. For getting natural intelligence, that comes into picture. So when a machine thinks like a human, that is artificial intelligence, for that one, machine learning is a very important thing to make our systems learn from the data and asking to predict something. So let me explain you very quickly. Let me explain very quickly the topics. So let me explain you this machine learning. So what machine learning is and what some other good people, good scientists have given some statements about the machine learning. So machine learning is a field of study that gives computers an ability to learn without being explicitly programmed. So no need to understand the statement. A field of study that gives computers the ability to learn. So we are giving computers an ability to learn about the data. That means getting some information from the data elements and predicting something or extracting some features, learning from that features, and then doing some operation. That is what basically machine learning is. So this is a good statement, mostly used statement. And finally, the computer is said to learn from the experience E. I would like to give you some definition on machine learning, and I would like to move on. So let me explain you this machine learning, what machine learning is basically. So I would like to give you some statement on this. I would like to give you some statement on this, and I would like to explain from here on. So a computer program is said to learn from the experience E. Learn from the experience E with respect to some class of task T. The task is T and the performance measure is P. If its performance at task in T as measured by P improves with an experience E. Somewhat tricky, right? The statement is somewhat tricky, and let me explain you very clearly. There are three terms. That is, one is experience. One is experience, one is T task, and one is performance. If the performance is increases based on experience in doing a task T, our task is T. Our task is T. In doing a task T, based on the experience, if the performance increases, that is what simply, let me explain you with a simple diagram. So experience and task and performance. Based on the experience, doing a task T, the performance is going to be increases. So let me explain a simple example. For suppose a task is given to two people, the task is given to two people, like for 5 years experienced guy and 2 years experienced guy. A task is given to two people, 5 years experienced guy and 2 years experienced guy. The task is team. This guy, 5 years experienced guy, does the task very efficiently and very quickly with a good accuracy. And 2 years guy, 2 years experienced guy does the same task with less accuracy, taking much time. That what it means, based on the experience, the performance is going to be increases. Based on the experience, the performance is going to be increases. Here the experience is the data. Experience is our data. Based on the incoming data, if the performance of a system or as predicting something, if it is increases, the performance increases, that is what simply machine learning is. If computer program is said to learn from the experience E with respect to some class of task T and the performance measure P, if its performance at task T as measured by P improves with experience. A simple example. So that my intention is to let you know, based on the input data, the task is going to be performed very well with a good accuracy, if at all, if the data is very good. So taking some data, learning from the data elements and giving some predictions, that is not simply a machine learning. So in my perception, machine learning is all about incoming data, predicting results. Any machine learning problem, mostly any machine learning problem can be described in such a way. If not, that is not a machine learning. And I would like to tell you, machine learning is not AI, machine learning is not DL, machine learning is not at all neural networks. Machine learning is all about letting our missions, my conclusion is, letting our missions to learn from the data elements and predicting some results. That is what machine learning is. So let me move on to other slide. So that it is clear that machine learning is a basic method that allows a computer to have its own intelligence. So finally, my conclusion is the machine learning is a basic method that allows a computer to have its own intelligence by giving some information to the system. That is what machine learning is. So there are the three things we need to understand. From a set of data, we can find a model that describes a machine learning. For example, some different examples we can take, but I would like to give you very briefly so that we have a very less time today and tomorrow. So I would like to give you some three topics in this one. We need to understand some statistical techniques: induction, deduction, and abduction. So what we covered is simply what machine learning is. I have given a statement. Letting our machines to learn from the data elements to predict something. Machine learning is all about incoming data and predicting the results. That is what machine learning is. So before going to handle the data, before going to deal with the machine learning things and what happens to the data and all the things, let us understand the three statistical concepts which are like induction and deduction. Let me explain you what induction is and what deduction is. So induction, deduction, without understanding induction, deduction, abduction, if you go for something, then there might be some misconceptions. So let me explain you induction, deduction, and abduction, and then quickly move on to machine learning. Right. So let me explain you induction, deduction, and abduction. So in this picture, visualize in your minds the deduction and induction. I would like to explain you these two topics in this session: induction and deduction, and rule, case, and results. Rule means already we people know a command to follow, and case is use case, your problem. This is a problem statement. For suppose, let us consider this was a problem. This is an algorithm. These are results. Rule, case, and results. Rule, case, results. The use case or the problem is going to be solved by the rule or the command or the algorithm. The results are going to be obtained. So in between rule and case, there is a deduction. Result and case, there is a induction. Let me explain you very quickly. Keep this picture in your minds. Keep this picture in your minds. Rule, case, results. Rule, case, results. This should be very clearly understood to have some good idea on machine learning statistical approaches. So let me explain you this somewhat more clear. So please cooperate with me. Let me explain you this. So first thing, induction. So let me explain you what induction is. What induction is? The extraction of general laws from a set of observed data is called induction. What induction is basically? The extraction of general laws from a set of observed data is called induction. Assume that there is a set of data. There is a set of data elements. There are set of data elements. From those data elements, extracting some general laws. Extracting some general laws is called induction. Let me explain you with a simple example. Let me explain you with an example. For suppose there is a college. In college, there are some people. The students are there. Students wearing ID card. Students wearing uniform. Student wearing some shoes. By observing all the people, if at all, if you are extracting some general laws, that means students should wear ID card, students should wear some shoe, students should wear uniform. Some three general laws you are extracted by observing some set of data elements. These are some set of data elements. By observing these set of data elements, if we extract some general laws from that, that is called induction. And it is opposed to deduction, in which starting from general laws. In a college itself, people decide some general laws for the students, how students should behave, way students can move on. Some such kind of some rules, general rules we define. And students should wear ID card, students should wear uniform, students should wear shoe. These are the some general laws already we have predefined. Then based on that, if you predict some variable, for suppose in a college there is a rule that students should wear ID card, students should wear uniform, students should wear some shoe. So one person comes in, that means one candidate comes in wearing ID card, wearing shoe, wearing uniform. Simply you can say he is a student. You are predicting based on the general laws. Starting from the general laws, we want to predict the value of a variable. That is what deduction is. Let me explain you simply two topics we need to understand: induction and deduction. Induction and deduction. Induction and deduction. So induction means extracting general laws from set of observed data, and deduction is simply from the general laws predicting the value of a variable. That is what induction and deduction. There are concepts like induction, deduction. I would like to explain you more clearly. So two topics you need to understand: induction and as well deduction. So induction is extracting general laws from a set of observed data, and deduction is from the starting from general laws. If you want to predict the value of a variable, that is what deduction is. So let me explain you those two. In inductive learning, in induction there are other two topics, two classifications. In induction we have other two ones: inductive learning. In inductive learning, there are two things: learning by example, learning by regularity. Learning by example and learning by regularity. I would like to give you some brief on this. I would like to give you some brief on learning by example and learning by regularity. So what learning by induction? Extracting general laws from a set of observed data. In that case, there are two classifications. One is learning by example, other one is learning by regularity. So knowledge gained by starting from a set of positive examples that are instances of concepts to be learned, and negative examples that are non-instance of the concept. So somewhat tricky, right? Let me explain with a general example. So first suppose you went to a market. For suppose you went to a market. For suppose you went to a market to buy apples. If you want to buy an apples, you went to a market to buy apples. So your task is to pick up good apples, right? Your task is to pick up some good apples. If I want to pick a good apple, we need to know which is a bad one. We need to know which is a bad one. Without knowing which is good, which is bad, the task cannot be performed. Task cannot be performed if you don't know what is good and what is bad. For suppose if I want to, the task is to pick some good apples. If the task is to pick good apples, your brain system should know what is good and what is bad. So for suppose the surface is very shiny, doesn't have any damages. In such case, we consider that one as a good apple. If the surface is not shiny, if the surface has some damages, then we consider that one as a bad apple, right? So let me explain you. The task is now, the task is picking up good apple, picking good apple, picking good apples. The task is picking good apples. Task is picking up good apples. So to pick good apples, we need to know which is bad and which is good. If you don't know which is good and which is bad, you cannot do this task. So bad ones is the negative instances of a task. Good ones are positive instances of a task. So the system has to train with negative instances and the positive instances to do a task. Knowledge gained by starting from a set of positive examples that are the instances of the concept to be learned, and the negative examples that are non-instances of the concept. Bad apples is the non-instance of a concept. The concept is picking up good apple. So the bad apples are the negative instances and the good apples are positive instances. We need to train a system. We need to train a system such that it can classify which is good, which is bad. That is simply learning by example. We need to give examples which is good and which is bad. First, suppose I would like to tell you, first suppose in a classroom there are 60 members. I want to train all the faces of that one, all the faces of the classroom. So I'm training that these are the female candidates, these are the male candidates. That means I'm giving information which is male, which is female. From that experience, from that examples, system is going to perform a task, the classification task. If a newcomer comes in, then simply classifies whether female or male. That is what learning by example. Let me explain it clearly. I'm repeating again to make you understand. Please don't mind. The task is to pick a good apples. Then your brain should know which is good, which is bad. Good is a positive instance, bad is a negative instance of the concept. The system has to learn from the good and bad also. That means positive instance, negative instance. That is called learning by learning by example. And the second one, learning by regularity. What learning by regularity is? This is not a concept of learn. The goal is to find the regularity in the instances provided. The common characteristics. The system doesn't know which is good apple, which is bad apple. Taking some bunch of apples and extract the features of that, and that system itself has to divide as good and bad based on the common features. It is not a concept of learning. The goal is to find the regularity. Based on the common features, the objects are going to be separated or such kind of things. That is comes into the concept of learning by regularity. Before that, learning by example. These comes into the picture of inductive learning. Inductive learning. So this is that one. And let me quickly move on to other topics. So try to keep this in your mind. Try to keep this in your mind. In inductive learning, we have two things: learning by example, learning by regularity. Learning by examples and learning by regularities. So, and then keep this picture in your mind, which will be very useful. And let's come on to the topic deductive learning and inductive learning. Let me explain this inductive learning and deductive learning. So the arrow marks matters here. You can see the arrow mark symbol. This is in this direction and the below one is in this direction. From the rules, from the general laws, if you are going to predict the value of a variable, that is what deductive learning. From the set of rules, from the set of general laws, if you are predicting some value of a variable, that is what deductive learning is. So from the rules, starting from the rules and ending at the examples. From the examples, from the observed data, from the set of observed data, if you are extracting some general laws, that is general laws or rules, that is called inductive learning. Extracting some general laws from set of observed data is called inductive learning. And in deductive learning, simply from the general laws, you are predicting the value of a variable. That is what deductive learning concept. So hope it is clear for you. So let me move on. So why do machine learning algorithms work, and different kinds of machine learnings, and why do machine learning works and why other traditional algorithm doesn't work, and the flow of machine learning, all the things I would like to tell you before going to MATLAB. So let me give you a simple brief on this. Let me give you a simple brief on this. Supervised learning, what supervised learning is and what unsupervised learning is, what is reinforcement learning. So different types of machine learning. We have here three kinds of machine learnings. One is, let me explain you, supervised learning, unsupervised, and reinforcement. In supervised learning, I would like to give you some conceptual understanding on this. What supervised learning? There is a supervisor simply. Try to understand, there is a supervisor who gives all the information to the system. Who gives all the information to the system? There is a supervisor, there is a teacher who gives all information to the system. Then system is going to predict the new variable. That is what supervised learning. And I would like to tell you, the algorithm generates a function that links input value to the desired output through a set of observations, set of examples, That is a predictive models. So let me explain you. This is input. This is output. So the algorithm generates a function which links your input to the output. F is a function. An algorithm generates a function which links your input to the output, the related output. That is what supervised learning. But I would like to tell you very clearly, supervised learning, there is a supervisor. There is a supervisor who gives all information to the system. I would like to explain these concepts very briefly, conceptually in next slides. So I would like to give you brief only here. So if there is a labeled data, if there is a pre-categorized data, if there is a pre-categorized data, let me explain you a simple example. For suppose the classification of male and female. The concept is classification of male and female. Then system is trained with male candidates, system is trained with female candidates. Male and female, system already knows, system already beforehand, system already knows that this is a male, this is a female. Based on the features we are giving, we are telling our system, we are giving instructions to the system. We are the teacher, we are the supervisor who gives information to the system that this is a female, this is a male. System is going to learn from that male and female candidates examples. Then when a new person gets in, the task is to predict whether whether that person belongs to male or female. That is a classification, category detection, category prediction. So that is what supervised learning. Supervised learning means the data is pre-categorized. Data is pre-categorized. That means before going to give a model, beforehand, the system knows what is what. System knows what is what. That is called simply labeled data. Female and male we are giving data as. That means the 10 members labeled as male, 10 members labeled as female. That is a labeled data. When you deal with the labeled data, that is what supervised learning. System beforehand, system knows what is male and what is female. Then when a new person comes in, automatically system can classify. That is what supervised learning. When it comes to unsupervised learning, the algorithms try to derive a knowledge from a general input without the help of set of pre-classified examples. In supervised learning, there is a pre-classified categories, pre-classified examples. But in unsupervised learning, there is no any kind of pre-classified examples. The system itself has to understand based on the similarities. The system has to understand from the features. The system has to understand from the features. That is what unsupervised learning is. Unlabeled data. I would like to give you more on this. We have another good visual representation for this. I would like to explain that one also. And then reinforcement learning. What reinforcement learning is? In this one, we don't have any input. We have only an environment to which we can interact with. There is no concept of something like input data and the training and all. The reinforcement learning is all about we have an environment to which we can interact with. So I'd like to explain with an example of this reinforcement learning also with some data. So these are the three classifications. So let me explain you briefly. Now the machine learning, the concept is machine learning, the supervised learning, unsupervised learning, and reinforcement learning. In supervised learning, regression and classification, and unsupervised learning, clustering, and reinforcement learning, controlling, and clustering in unsupervised learning. Many classifications are there. I would like to show you a big picture of machine learning also. I would like to show you big picture also. So please be patient. I would like to show. So in supervised learning, already we have discussed. This is training, learning, input and model and output. So any model, simply training the data, learning algorithm, and the model, input and output. So these are some basics. I don't feel those are discussable. So let me explain you some basic concepts. So from here you can understand. So supervised learning and supervised learning. This is supervised learning and this is unsupervised learning. This is unsupervised learning. So I would like to tell you there are pre-classified examples. There are two pre-classified examples. These are circles. These are circles and these are some cross or something. Pre-classified examples are there. For suppose if I give a circle as an input, then automatically, for suppose it is a class A, this is a class B, then this object will be classified as a, this object is belongs to B. Simply system classifies that, and that this circle belongs to this category or this class B. Instead of checking with all elements, simply checking with this. So there are pre-classified examples to the system in supervised learning. Here, unsupervised learning system doesn't have anything. Pre-classified examples, there are no pre-classified examples. For suppose if I give a cross, then system has to check with all data elements to which it belongs to. So this is unsupervised learning. Where there is a labeled data, then we can go for supervised learning. Where there is no labeled data, that is unlabeled data, then simply we can go for unsupervised learning. So the reinforcement learning also would like to give you some brief on this. Reinforcement learning aims to create algorithm that can learn and adapt the environmental changes. The programming technique is based on the concept of receiving external stimuli depending on the algorithm choices. There is only environment is there. With that environment, we can interact with, and the system has to take adapt the changes. I would like to give you some examples on this one also. So this is some basic theory, and let me explain you choosing the right algorithm. How to choose a right algorithm? How to choose a right algorithm? But there is no general answer for it. There is no generic answer for how to choose a good algorithm. There is no generic answer. We learned the difference between various types of machine learning algorithms like supervised learning and unsupervised learning. Then now it is time to ask ourselves that what is the right algorithm for our needs? What is the right algorithm for my need? What is the right algorithm for my need? So unfortunately, there is no common answer for everyone. There is no common answer for everyone except the more generic. It depends. It depends on. But what it depends on, we need to understand what it depends on. So there is no general answer how to choose and which algorithm suits for my need. It depends on what it depends on. Let me explain you what it depends on. So it depends on the data available to us. The first one, the data. It mainly depends on the data available to us. The size of data, the quality of data, the nature of data. The data is the very important thing. Without data, we cannot do anything. The varieties of data, the better results we'll get. Right? It depends on what you want to do with the answer. That means results. What you want to do with the results. And the first one is the data, the size, the quality, and the nature of data. And it depends on what you want to do with the answer for the results also. And depends on how the algorithm has been expressed in terms of instructions to the computer and how much time we have. And the better way is to trial and error method. There is no such good algorithm for your needs. So simply we need to decide based on trial and error method. Simply based on the data and based on the results, based on the algorithm, based on the time, how much you have. So it depends on all these factors to choose a right algorithm. So I don't want to kill your time with this theory. So let me explain you. However, understand what is most suitable for our needs. We can perform a preliminary analysis beginning from what we have. The first thing we need to check what we have, that is data. What we have, that is data, and what tools we are available. What tools are available, that is algorithms, and the results. Data, algos, and results. Data, algos, and results. These are the things we need to check for before going to select a machine learning algorithm. Right. So how to build a machine learning model is step by step. Let me explain you how to build a machine learning model step by step before going to explain you conceptual understanding of machine learning. This is a theory. Now, after 2 or 3 slides, I would like to give you a conceptual learning. So because we have less time, I want to move on fast. So let me explain you these things first. So the machine learning life cycle. This is machine learning life cycle. the collection of data, collecting data and preparing your data and exploring your data and training an algorithm and testing an algorithm and evaluating an algorithm and improving algorithm performance. The collection of data and preparing the data, exploring and training, testing and evaluating and improving. This is the flow of machine learning models. So for any machine learning model, in such a way we can define all these tasks we need to do. We'll share this PPT with all the participants, so you can go through it. I don't want to kill your time on theory really. I would like to quickly move on to the practical approaches. So I'm not giving the depth of this one. You can go through it. So these are things we need to understand: the collection of data, preparing of data, exploring the data. I'm not reading the theory. I don't want to read and explain you. Training algorithm, testing algorithm, evaluating algorithm, and improving algorithm performance. These all things we need to perform to build an algorithm, right? So this is something brief about. So I would like to ask you simply what we have discussed, what machine learning is, the types of machine learning, inductive learning, deductive learning, and then what are the factors you need to consider before going to choose an algorithm, and then machine learning flow. That means machine learning end-to-end flow: collection and preparing and exploring, training, testing, evaluating, performance. So these are some basic things we had, the very basic things we had. Let me start off the things with practical approach. So I would like to explain you machine learning now in real scenarios. That I would like to explain machine learning in real scenarios now. So hope my screen is visible. So hope my screen is visible. Can anyone in the team, can you please check with me? Yeah, I would like to start this one. Is my screen is visible? Can anyone in the team please? Yes. Yeah. Please keep posted me. So I have added some graphics on this. So if at all, if it is okay with you, then I'll go with that. So get relaxed. We are done with the theory. Enough theory. You are done with enough theory. Let me explain the practical approaches of machine learning. So I say machine learning is really a fun. I say machine learning is really fun. So you will also find something fun in this. So I would like to explain my insights or what I got, my insights, and based on my experience, I would like to give you some insights on this. Sure, I'll share the PPTs. No worries. Yeah. So machine learning is a fun. I would like to explain you conceptual learning of machine learning. So what machine learning and why do we want machines to learn? Because we are lazy. That's why we want machines to learn. Instead of learning, we are learning. We are asking our machines to learn. That is the only thing, right? Yes, there is a word missing in that. Please don't mind. While preparing, yeah, LEARNING, mission learning. Yes, thanks for letting me know, someone. Yeah. Yes, I'll tell you opinions. So what is difference between machine learning and AI? What is difference between machine learning and DL? Kind of things I would like to explain you. So machine learning is really a fun. Machine learning is really a fun. Why I call it as a fun? Let us understand conceptually what machine learning is. So let us start our questions. We need to encounter with questions and then we'll find some answers on that. So I will explain you machine learning in simple terms. First, suppose I have an input and some outputs. First, suppose my input is 2. For suppose for my input 2, the output is something 4. My input 3, something is 6, output is. My input 4, something is 8. My input 5, the output is 10. My input 6, the output is 12. So I have these input data. I have this input data. I have this input data. I have this input data. So I'm training my system with this data. I'm training my system with the data. So inputs and outputs. Then what system does? What system learns really? What system learns really? Systems learn that the relation, if at all input is 2, output is 4. 3 that is 6, 4 that is 8, 5 that is 10, 6 that is 12. That means system understands the pattern behind it. The system understands the pattern behind it. The pattern is the input is multiplied with a constant value 2. The input is multiplied with a constant value 2. That is a hidden pattern. System understands this. The learning concept is here only. It learns that if the input is something, the input is multiplied with 2 to get a output. System learns that. The hidden patterns in a data. System learns what machine learning is basically. System learns the hidden patterns in a data. That is what. So 2 is 4. That means input is multiplied by factor 2. System learns this thing. That's all. Then if I give some 7, automatically system gives as a 14. If I give 9, system gives an output as 18. Because from this system gets the pattern. System understands the pattern and predicting something. That is what machine learning is in simple. So let us understand the conceptuals of conceptual learning of machine learning. So there is a guy, something Billy. There is a guy who wants to buy a car. There is a guy Billy who wants to buy a car, and he tries to calculate how much he needs to save monthly for that. He tries to calculate how much he needs to save monthly for that. Then he went over dozens of ads on the internet. In internet, he went to over dozens of internet ads and different showrooms. He visited many things he did, and learned that new cars are around $20,000. New cars are around $20,000, and used 1-year-old cars are $90,000. 2-year-old cars are $18,000 and all. So this is the new car, and $19,000 that is 1-year-old car, and $1,800 $18,000 that is a 2-year-old car, and $1,700 that is 3-year-old car, and he won't get a car below $10,000. Billy, a brilliant analytic, starts seeing a pattern on it. So simply seeing a pattern on it, so that the car price depends on its age and drops $1,000 every year, but won't get a lower than $10,000. So he want to buy a new car. Then he went to different internet sites and different showrooms, and he found that a new car is for $20,000. 1-year-old car, 19, 2-year-old car, 18,000, and so on. He's a good analytic guy, and if he starts to find a pattern in this, that based on the age of a car, the price is going to be reduces. That is a pattern. So in machine learning concepts terms, Billy invented a regression. Simply, it is a regression problem. He predicted a value. Price based on known historical data. These are all known historical data. This is all known historical data. From that, seeing a pattern and finding some price of a car. So he predicted a value based on historical data. People do it all the time when trying to estimate reasonable cost on the used iPhone on the eBay. So simply, this is a regression here. It would be nice to have a simple formula for every problem in the world. See, simply by taking the prices and the ages of car, simply predicting some price. That is what simply a regression is in machine learning. So let me explain more clearly this one again. So let's get back to the cars. The problem is that they have different manufacturing dates. When you want to buy a car, we need to check for manufacturing dates, dozens of options, technical condition of engine, and seasonal demands, seasonal hikes, and the GSTs are many. So many hidden patterns are there. Only God knows it, right? So many things are there. Many hidden patterns are there to buy a car. If I want to buy a car, I need to look for the manufacturing dates and different kinds of interior options, technical condition of my engine, and seasonal demands like Christmas season or Dasara season, different kinds of things. There are many hidden patterns are there. We need to find out all these hidden patterns. But being as a human, keeping all these in your mind, that is a very complex thing. So an average Billy can't keep all data in his head while calculating the price. He can't keep all these factors in mind while creating or calculating some data. So we people are very lazy and dumb. That's why we need robots to do the math for them, for us, right? In future, the people will invent robots who sleeps for us, who eats for us. So we are really lazy. So we need a machine to learn from all these data elements. So let's go to computational way here. Let's provide the machine some data and ask it to find the hidden patterns related to the price. So let us give all this information, manufacturing dates, options, technical conditions, seasonal demands, everything. You can give it a system and asking the pattern. Then the most exciting thing is that machine comes up with this task much better than a real person and does when carefully analyzing all the dependencies in the mind. So keeping all these in consideration, system gives you the best result. The most exciting thing is it gives a better and accurate result. For suppose, being as a human, if I plan to buy some car, if I plan to buy some car, I have researched a lot and I decided to buy some Maruti Suzuki Ciaz or something. Some of my friend comes to me and says that Maruti Suzuki is not good. If even you don't know about it, simply says that that is not good, go for something. Being as a humans, being as a emotionally, so changes our decision. But system doesn't change its decision. Based on all the inputs you give, it gives you the best results. It is not affected by any emotions. So there is a birth of machine learning. There is a birth of machine learning. Finding hidden patterns and predicting something. That is, there is a birth of machine learning. That Billy invented something like regression problem. There is a conceptual understandings of different machine learning algorithms I would like to give you here. And then the three components of machine learning. So what are the components we need to have? We need to understand when you're going for machine learning. The three concepts of components and the concepts of machine learning, let me explain you very clearly. So without all the AI stuff, AI is not machine learning. I'll tell you, AI is not machine learning. The only goal of machine learning is to predict the results based on incoming data. As I told you, based on incoming data, predicting the results, that is what machine learning is, but not AI. That's it. All ML tasks can be represented in this way, or it's not an ML problem from the beginning. That is not an ML problem if it is not defined as incoming data and predicting results. As I told you in the first moment, so it's all about based on the incoming data, predicting some results. So the greater variety in the samples you have, the easier to find the relevant patterns and predict the results. Therefore, we need three components to teach a mission. To teach a mission, the mission learning means you're teaching our mission. First, you're teaching our mission. So in mission learning, simply, there are three components to teach a mission. So the first component is data. The first component is data. So if you want to detect the spam, if you want to detect the if you want to forecast the stocks, if you want to find the history and the user preferences, pass their activities on Facebook, the more diverse the data, the better the result is. In for suppose in a Google, if you try something machine, then automatically you'll get a suggestion like machine learning. So that is one kind of machine learning algorithm. For suppose you're surfing in or you're simply on Amazon looking for a blue color shirt, it gives you many blue color shirts. If you're looking for some kind of phone, it gives you many suggestions based on the user preferences. So whatever the thing is in machine learning or deep learning or AI, everything is all about data. Data is a new oil for this generation really. Without data, we cannot do anything. Data, 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 data. The all big tech companies, tech giants are based on data only. Even Facebook, even Google, even Twitter, Snapchat, many are Bloomberg, many are simply based on data. They're running, they're making money with the data only. So let me explain you the three components. The first one is data. So how to collect the data? There are two ways to collect the data. There are two ways to collect the data, that is manual and automatic. There are two main ways to get the data. One is manual collection, another one is automatic collection. The manually collected data contains fewer errors but takes more time to collect. Manual collection takes more time and have fewer errors, but it is a more expensive thing. If you want to collect some crores of images, it takes much time. Years together it takes. That is a so expensive task and so time-taking task as well. So automatic approach is very simple and cheaper. Automatic approach. You're gathering everything you can find and hope for the best. You're gathering everything and you can find and hope for the best. Some smart companies like Google use their own customers to label data for them free. Remember captcha verification. For suppose if you forgot your password, then it will ask you to captcha verification. Find the tick all the trees in the image, tick all the cars in the image, tick all the crosswalks in the image. Such kind of information you get, right? So in such a way, simply you are labeling their data. Google using we people as a free labor, simply recapture verification and finding the trees in the image, such kind of things. Your Google using us for a free labor. That's very nice. So it is extremely tough to collect a good collection of data. It is really tough to collect the good collection of data. Data or data set, we call it as data sets. So data sets are very important to the companies. Companies will release their algorithms, but rarely data sets. Data is very important for them. So the first component to teach your machine is data. The first component to teach your machine is data. We are done with data, automatic collection and as well manual collection. The second component to teach your machine is the features. The second component is features, also known as parameters or variables. So first suppose if I consider my mobile, what are the features of my mobile? What are the features of my mobile? The features are camera, the resolution, RAM, ROM, processor, kind of things I would like to describe. So attributes, so features means attributes or the parameters. For suppose if there is a car, the features of a car is the color, the mileage, engine, and seating. These are all the features. For suppose there is a people, gender is a one kind of feature, and the height something like, and stock price, what frequency in a text, different kinds of things. So in other words, simply the machine looks at, when you assign a task to a system, the machine looks at features only. So for suppose you have 1,000 data elements, 1,000 data elements as it is, system doesn't take it. It extracts the features from the data elements and stores it. And when you want to do a task, when we want the system to do a task, simply look at the features. System look at the features. These are the factors a machine look at. The machine look at the only features. Features means simply an attributes which can describe something very well. Features are called, for suppose if it is a CSV file, if it is a tabular data, in such cases simply we can find what is the feature and all. But if at all, if it is a data is very high, then we cannot. So the other concept is features. Features are attributes of a something, some object. First one data, the second one features. And then let us move. The third one is algorithms. The third one is algorithms. So here very important thing. So most obvious part, any problem can be solved differently. The method you choose affects the precision, performance, and the size of the final model. So which algorithm you're choosing, that affects the precision, performance, and the size of the final model. There is one important non-stop. If your data is crappy, that means if data is very less inadequate data, then even a best algorithm, even a good performing algorithm doesn't give you best results. If there is a crappy data, that means if there is a less data, if there is no good data, if there is inadequate data, that means insufficient data, if there is, then even a good algorithm, a good model, machine learning model doesn't give you good results. Garbage, that is called garbage in, garbage out in software terminology. Garbage in, garbage out. Though your algorithm is very good, the algorithm gives the best results. Though your model is very good, if there is less data, the data is crappy, the output is very less, the performance is very less. That is what we call garbage in, garbage out. So don't pay much attention to the percentage of accuracy. If you want to focus on percent of accuracy, first you need to focus on acquiring more data first. More data, better results always you get in machine learning. So try to understand this one. Data and features, that is simply data science. This Venn diagram will give you maximum information about this. Data and features, that is data science, and algorithms and data, that is data mining, and features and algorithms, that is classical programming. And all together, data, features, and algorithms, three components to teach your mission. Data, features, algorithms that is machine learning. So what machine learning is basically involves three things: data, algorithms, and features. Data, algorithms, and features, that is combination, that is machine learning. Data and features, data mining. Data and features, data and algorithms, data mining. Data and features, data science. Features and algorithms, classical programming. So try to understand this one. And this is about three components. To teach a mission, we need to have three components: data, features, algorithms. And now someone asked me a question: what is machine learning, what is deep learning, what is AI? A question. For your question, sir, for your question, there is an answer now. There is a big picture, that is artificial intelligence. There is a big picture, that is artificial intelligence. In that artificial intelligence, we have machine learning. Machine learning is a part of artificial intelligence. Not only machine learning, many things are involved. And in machine learning, neural nets is another part. In neural nets, simply go for deep learning. So in a big picture of artificial intelligence, machine learning is a part. In a machine learning, again, deep learning. So simply, what is artificial intelligence? Simply, it is simply a name of a whole knowledge field, like a biology or a physics or something. Machine learning is a part of artificial intelligence, an important part, but not the only one. It is an important part, but not the only one. Machine learning is a part of artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence is different. Machine learning is different. If a machine thinks like a human, that is artificial intelligence. If a machine learns from the data and predicting something, that is machine learning. And if a system learns from the complex data, that is what deep learning. So neural networks are one of the machine learning types, a popular one, but there are other good guys in the class also. Some other also there, very good ones. Then deep learning is a modern method of building, training, and using neural networks. Basically, it's a new architecture. Nowadays, in practice, no one separates deep learning from the ordinary networks. Deep learning is very important and gaining more importance these days. And a very good one also. So these are some difference between artificial intelligence, machine learning, and as well neural networks. Let me show you some more good things. So before going to develop a machine learning model, before going to understand machine learning, we need to have some basic idea on what a machine can do, what a machine cannot do. What a machine can do, what machine cannot do, we need to understand. A machine can forecast, a machine can memorize, a machine can reproduce, a machine can choose the best item. Can anyone in the meeting, could you please check with me, is my screen is visible? Can anyone in the meet, please? Yes. Thank you. Thanks for checking with me. Yes. Yes. So what a machine can do, what a machine cannot do, we need to understand. A machine can forecast, a machine can memorize, a machine can reproduce, a machine can choose the best item. For these topic, ethical machine learning. So when you go for ethically, if you think machine can only forecast, machine can memorize the data, and machine can predict something, machine can reproduce, and machine can choose the best item among, and machine cannot create something new. Remember, machine cannot create something new. We need to give the data, based on that it acts. Machine cannot get smart really fast based on your algorithms, cannot go beyond the task. If you write an algorithm for doing a particular task, it performs that particular task only, cannot go beyond the task. Machine cannot create something new, machine cannot get really fast, machine cannot go beyond the task, machine cannot kill all humans, and machine cannot kill all our jobs also. Right? Please try to understand this. What machine can do and what machine cannot do, we need to understand before going to understand machine learning concepts. So keep in mind, machine can forecast, machine can memorize, machine can reproduce, machine can choose the best item, and machine cannot create something new. Machine cannot get smart really fast. Machine cannot go beyond the task, and machine cannot kill all humans. So the big picture of machine learning I would like to show now. The big picture, this is this single slide. With this single slide, I can take up to 2 or 3 hours of class. So this single slide, you can understand the map of machine learning world. The map of machine learning world. So let me explain you very clearly what machine learning is. In machine learning, there are four concepts, four categories: classical machine learning, ensembles learning, and neural networks, and reinforcement learning. Reinforcement learning, ensemble methods, and classical machine learning, and neural nets and deep learning. So we are dealing with classical machine learning. Here we are dealing with classical machine learning. In classical machine learning, again we have supervised learning, unsupervised learning. In supervised learning, again we have a classification and we have a regression. In unsupervised learning, there is a clustering and pattern search and dimensionality reduction. These are some classifications of classical machine learning. Most of we people dealing with classical machine learning, in which we are supervised, unsupervised. In supervised learning, regression, classification, and unsupervised learning, clustering, pattern search, dimensionality reduction. See here, regression, linear regression, polynomial regression, ridge and lasso regression, classification, SVM, Navy Bayes, KNN, and clustering, K-means, and fuzzy C-means, different kinds of clustering algorithm, patterns, pattern search, and dimensionality reduction. And when it comes to reinforcement learning, we have different. And when it comes to others, so neural networks and deep learning, perceptions and autoencoders, and generative adversarial networks, recurrent neural networks, and convolution neural networks, CNN, RCNN, AZNN, different kinds of neural networks things are there. So here the concept is, I would like to let you know what machine learning world is. This is the entire machine learning world. With this map, simply you can understand every concept of machine learning. So let us simply move on to classical machine learning. I'm going to deal with this classical machine learning. So you can take a snap of this one, this picture. This will give you more information about anything in a machine learning things. So you can understand machine learning is a part of AI. The deep learning is a part of machine learning, and ensembles, reinforcement, all comes into the picture of machine learning itself. So yes. So this is very important thing. This is very important. The next two slides will give you more information about machine learning. With the 3 or 4 to 4 slides, you can simply explain entire machine learning in theoretically. In machine learning, 50% theory, 50% coding. And as well, when you come to a machine learning model, 90% is up to pre-processing only. 90% is, 80% is pre-processing, 10% is algorithm, 10% is performance evaluation, testing, and something. So 80% is all about data pre-processing. So let's start the basic overview. So the 4 directions of machine learning: the classical machine learning, and reinforcement machine learning, and ensembles, and neural networks, and deep learning. So if at all, if the simple data and clear features, if there is a simple data and clear features, then go for classical machine learning. Simple data and clear features, then simply you can go for classical machine learning. If there is no data, but we have an environment to interact with, then go for reinforcement learning. And when quality is a real problem, then go for ensembles. And complicated data, unclear features, belief in a miracle, then you go for neural networks and deep learning. Most of the tech companies are going on deep learning. So these topics you need to understand. If there is a simple data, which one you need to select first? Before going to select, we need to have some idea on what kind of data we have. If the data is very simple and have a clear features, then go for classical machine learning. If there is no data, only environment, then go for reinforcement learning. If the quality is a real problem, then go for ensembles. And if there is a complicated data, unclear features, belief in a miracle, then go for neural networks and deep learning. So let me explain you classical machine learning. So very important things I would like to explain you for the next coming 15 minutes. So try to pay your attention. Give me a moment. Let me take some water. Yes. Let us discuss the classical machine learning. Let us discuss the classical machine learning. What classical machine learning is? The first method came from pure statistics, that is in 50. So 50 is the solved formulas, math tasks. So these are some theory. I don't want to waste our time with this theory, but later you can simply go through to understand it. So classical machine learning. What classical machine learning is? In classical machine learning, the classification is supervised learning and unsupervised learning. In classical machine learning, supervised learning, unsupervised. With this picture, you can explain entire machine learning as well. So in classical machine learning, when to choose supervised learning, when to choose unsupervised learning, when to choose. If the data is pre-categorized or numerical, if the data is pre-categorized and numerical, if the data is the first point, how to choose whether supervised learning works for you or unsupervised learning works for you. If the data is pre-categorized and numerical, then go for supervised learning. If the data is not labeled in any way, as I mentioned in you, mentioned you in the first moment, if there is no data, if there is no feature labeled data, that means data is not at all labeled, then go for unsupervised learning. If the data is pre-classified examples, pre-categorized numerical data, then simply go for supervised learning. In supervised learning, when to go for classification, when to go for regression. If I want to predict the category, then go for classification. If I want to predict the number, then go for regression. If you want to predict the number, go for regression. If you want to predict the category, then go for classification. And then if it in unsupervised learning, if I want to divide by similarity, then go for clustering. So identifying sequences, go for association. To find the hidden patterns, dimensionality reduction. So simple examples are here, visual examples, you can find it here, the classification. So my intention is to let you know how to choose the supervised or unsupervised ones. Based on the data, what we have, that is the data. Based on the data, we can check simply which comes into the picture of supervised learning, which comes into the picture of unsupervised learning. So if the data is pre-categorized or numerical, then go for supervised learning. If the data is not labeled in any way, then go for unsupervised learning. And then in supervised learning, if you want to predict a category, go for classification. In supervised learning, if you want to predict a number, then go for a regression. And if you want to divide by similarity, clustering. Identify the sequences, association. Find the hidden patterns, dimensionality, reduction. In such a way, you can select your algorithm. That gives, this picture gives you more information. So in supervised learning, let me explain you what supervised learning is basically. Supervised learning, classical machine learning is often divided into two categories, supervised learning and unsupervised learning. In the first case, the machine has a supervisor, that is supervised learning. In supervised learning, there is a supervisor, a machine has a supervisor or a teacher who gives the machine all the answers. As I told you, the female and male, we are giving a data to the system, a simple example, which is good, which is bad in an apples example. So there is a supervisor, there is a teacher who gives all information to the machine, like whether it is a cat in the picture or a dog. The teacher has already divided, that means the labeled data. The teacher already divided, that means labeled data into cats and dogs, and the machine using these examples to learn. That means learning by example. This is a learning by example. The system already knows that which is dog, which is cat in a picture. Right. So the teacher, the supervisor giving all the answers to machine. That is what supervised, that is why we call it supervised learning. Unsupervised learning means the machine is left on its own with a pile of animal photo and tasked to find out who is who. Simply giving a picture, system don't know the features of a cat, the features of a dog. System itself has to extract some features based on the based on the regularity or based on the common features. It has to decide which is cat, which is dog on a picture. So the machine is trying to find the any patterns on its own. That is, there is no labeled data, then go for unsupervised. There is a teacher who gives all the information to system, that is a supervised learning. We'll talk about the methods below. So clearly when machine learns faster, the machine will learn faster with the teacher. So it is more commonly used in real life tasks. There are two types of such task: classification That means an object's category prediction, and the regression prediction of a specific point on a numeric axis. This is about some supervised learning. About supervised learning. So let me explain you some examples on supervised learning. So split objects based at one of the attributes known beforehand. Attributes means features. Splits an objects based at one of the attributes known beforehand. Simple example is separating socks based on the colors. Already we know colors, red, some green, some blue or something. Already known this one. So there are some bunch of socks. Based on the color we are separating. Separate socks based on the color, documents based on the language, English documents, Hindi documents, and Tamil documents, kind of things. Music by genre, different, all these concepts comes in the picture of supervised learning and classification. And this supervised learning classification will be used for spam filtering, language detection, a search of similar documents, sentiment analysis, and recognition of handwritten characteristics, characters and numbers, fraud detection, different kinds of real-time use cases. Classification comes into picture when you are separating based on the features, separate socks based on the color, kind of thing. Simple example. So split objects based on one of the attributes, that means the features known beforehand. System already knows. So here apples and something like some fruit, some jackfruit or something like that is considered. So they already pre-classified examples, which are apples, which are jackfruit, system already knows it. If I give some apple, some simply classifies the predict the category. This new one belongs to this category. That is what machine learning or supervised learning is. Pre-classified examples will be there. Right. Spam filtering, language detection, is a of similar documents. These are the examples real time. Sentiment analysis, recognition of handwritten, and fraud detection. So the popular algorithms are, these are the popular algorithms. These are some popular algorithms. Decision tree, elastic regression, naive Bayes, SVM. These are some k nearest neighbor, support vector mission. These are some popular algorithms for classification. So hope you guys can understand. These are some popular ones for classification. Right. So hope this is very clear. Pre-classified examples already these are. There are two classes, class A, class B. If a newcomer comes in, simply system predict the category. It belongs to A, it belongs to B, because system already know. Beforehand, system knows the features of it. That is what supervised learning is basically. I hope you can understand it. So let me move. So in this classification, machine learning is about classifying things. Mostly the mission here is like a baby learning to sort some toys. Simply a baby learning to sort toys based on some color, based on shape or something. That is simply a machine learning, as I told you. In classification, you always need a teacher. Remember, in classification, you always need a teacher. That means pre-labeled data. That means pre-classified examples. The data should be labeled with the features so that machine could assign the classes based on them. Everything could be classified. So examples user based on interest, and articles based on the languages and topic, and music based on genre. These kind of some and even your emails. Most of you people, we know the spam mails, spam folder in our Gmail, spam folder. That means bad mails. So let us simply see an algorithm. So naive Bayes algorithm, classification algorithm, it is in filtering, it is mostly useful. Emails filtering or spam filtering, it is mostly useful and very popular one. But these days, people, Google is not using this one. Back then, till 2012, using this spam filter using naive Bayes only. But even hackers hacked this one. Poisoning an algorithm is done. Then they have changed the algorithms as well. So before getting into your mail system, once you receive a mail, your Google system analyzes mail. How many good words are there? How many bad words are there? Hey, I am, nowhere, you, speak, learn, one, some good words. Checking for number of good words, checking for some good, bad words, some promotional mails, which are unrelated to you. So bad words. So checking for good words and bad words and applying to algorithm, probability of getting new good and probability of getting being bad. So simply applying a formula and getting whether it is a good or bad, not a spam or spam. Simply this is an algorithm use case of a naive bias, simply getting the probability of A with already B is given. In such cases, simply finding which is good and which is bad. So simplest spam filter used until 2010 and 12 also. Later on, Bayesian poisoning is done by hackers. Hackers came to know how this algorithm works, then simply adding some good words in bad mails also. Then Google has changed their algorithm as well. So this is a simple example of that. So, and some kind of decision trees we can have for classification. So whether to give a loan or not, some different kinds of algorithms, regression, simple regression, and different kinds of things are to be discussed. So I would like to discuss all those in very brief. So simply it is a decision tree. First, suppose we have applied for a loan, you have applied for a loan, then the bank doesn't have any information about you. So but how it decides whether to give or not? So system doesn't have information about you, but system have information about similar people like you. Have thousands of people. So first, suppose if I am a software engineer, I'm aged between 25 to 30, I'm earning a salary of 10 lakhs package, I'm a post-graduate. So based on all features, just already bank people have many profiles. Based on those, how software people repay some money, how graduates repaying money, how age between people 25 to 30, how they repay. Based on their history, simply taking a decision. Simply yes or no questions will be given, giving a loan or credit history, bad and good, have debt. So all these kind of questions will be taken into consideration. So likewise, many good algorithms, classifications, and regression, unsupervised learning, we have different kinds of things we have. So I'll share the PPTs, you can go through it. And in tomorrow class, we'll have some introduction to MATLAB and machine learning toolbox, and one classification model I would like to show you in machine learning with MATLAB tool. MATLAB is a scientific tool for scientific computations. That I would like to take 2 to 3 minutes to explain the remaining topics in tomorrow's session. And then I would like to explain you basic about MATLAB tool, and then how we can do machine learning with MATLAB and deep learning with MATLAB. Different kinds of things will be there. So simply I would like to show you a classification model with MATLAB. So that's all for today's session. You can post your questions, please. You can post your questions if you have. I'll be available here for 2 to 3 minutes. You can post your questions now. So we have covered what is machine learning and what is inductive learning, what is deductive learning, and what are things to be understand to select a machine learning model, and then machine learning flow, and what regression is, and as well thereafter supervised learning, unsupervised learning, the three components of machine learning, and as well AI, deep learning, and machine learning, and what a machine can do and what machine cannot do, we have covered. And supervised learning, in supervised learning there is a teacher who gives all information, and then how it will be useful for different cases, classification, on regression we have discussed. For the coming class, unsupervised learning, clustering, I would like to discuss, and I would like to give you some basic overview on MATLAB tool. If you people have a MATLAB tool, that's really okay, or else simply you can go through it. That's all for the day. You can post any if you have any questions. So I'm enabling chat box. Thanks for being with me till now. So tomorrow no theory will be there. Simply I would like to show simple things, classification model. Hope this is useful for you. Some good theory and good conceptual understandings. Thank you so much. Please give me your feedback, or else you can post your questions. You can post your questions. Labeling is the toughest task really. MATLAB 2020, you can download a free version. From 2018, machine learning toolbox are available. You can download any. In data science, different kinds of machine learnings are there. Machine learning algorithms you can use. Yeah, I'll try to explain you how the naive bias is theory poisoned. So hackers poisoned that algorithm by giving good words and bad mails also. Yeah, I'll share the soft copy. And predictive maintenance, you're launching one more course, predictive analytics. You can go through that. Unsupervised learning, simply Google Photos. You can see Google Photos automatically are dividing faces. The system doesn't know who is who, but based on the faces, it is simply dividing Google Photos, Apple Photos. Yeah, tomorrow I'll give you some good PPTs or PDFs also for learning. Yeah, only matter is enough to go with hands-on. Yeah, we'll be taking all the questions and we'll try to answer as questions are moving on. Simply I'll take one by one. I'll go through it once the session is done. Thank you very much. Thanks for your patience as well. Let us wind up this. Tomorrow also we have a session at 5 o'clock, 5 to 6:30 or 7 it may take based on our. Yeah, we can relate machine learning. If at all, if the data is not clear, the features are not clear, then we go for deep learning. In classical machine learning, supervised and unsupervised, that's all. There is no difference in using MATLAB and others like Python and Jupyter, that one, no difference. But only this is a scientific tool which have different many well-versed toolboxes. Yeah, certificate will be provided for all the participants. Tomorrow we'll announce that. Yeah, we'll post the PPTs as well for your reference. No issues for us. Hope this session will give you a good detail on machine learning. Yeah. Regression is traffic density. Simply, I'll try to explain it tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow we'll send the feedback form as well. Yes, sir. Prabhakar sir will send you feedback links. Thank you, Jay Kumar sir. Thank you so much. Thanks for your feedback and suggestions as well. So we'll try to cover up. And we are launching a new course. If you're interested, you can go through. Tomorrow we'll announce a new course on MATLAB, machine learning, and predictive analytics. And with UI also, graphical user interface also you're planning. We'll give you information. You can. Thank you so much. Thank you one and all. Thanks for attending. So this event is organized by Skill to Hire in association with Malareddy Engineering College Autonomous, Hyderabad. Really, thank you so much. I thank organizers and as well the people from Malareddy Engineering College, the people behind this. Yeah, thank you. Yes, Babu Ashok sir, Ashok, you can contact us. These days, automation with LML automation also comes into picture. That is also a very good one. Yeah. Rami Krishna sir, thank you so much. Rami Krishna ma'am, thank you so much. Yeah, certificate will be sent to mail once after completion of sessions. Sure, we are going to give you a practical session only. Tomorrow, no theory and all. Simple, right away I'll get into MATLAB and I would like to show you the things. So to understand that one, we need to have some basics. That's why I have given you today the basic things, don't mind. Tomorrow directly in MATLAB 2, I would like to show you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'm leaving the meet.